Pokimane is a very divisive figure, and there's been a lot of discussion as to why she's so controversial. I don't really understand why this is a conversation. I mean, it's pretty self-evident. I mean, we're talking about somebody who's attacked people's sponsors, submitted false DMCA takedowns, and of course, like the Fedmeister drama. But this video isn't about any of those things. I want to focus specifically on the latest Pokimane drama. I initially had no intentions of making a video on this, but the more I look into it, this is just really stupid. And I need to explain to somebody why it's stupid, or else my marbles are gonna be like Dr. Jack Shepard. That's a Lost reference. Anyways, what has Pokimane got herself into? By the way, I know that's not how you pronounce her name. I just don't care. But I'm just gonna call her Poki for the rest of the video, so it doesn't even matter. Anyways, this all starts on November 13th, where Poki would announce her brand new snack brand called MYNA, which is named after some like bird, I guess. And her reasoning for naming the brand after the bird is because like the bird is smart or something. And I guess she thinks the brand is smart too. That's a really stupid reason, but okay. I mean, I like the name and the branding is cute, but the reason is just retarded. The first of many products to be produced by MYNA is her Midnight Mini Cookies with deep chocolate, velvety white chips, and sea salt, which looks, you know, quite scrumptious. I'm not gonna lie. Realistically, this is kind of expected for larger content creators to branch out and sell useless shit so their dumb fuck fans will buy it. Speaking of which, you know, buy my merch, link in the description. Anyways, Poki heavily advertised these cookies as healthy, something that is, you know, obviously bullshit. I mean, just look at these things. She clickbaited her sugar daddies, aka her fans, into watching her glorified advertisement by acting like it was something, you know, actually important. And she used every trick in the book to convince them that her sweet and decadent morsels are fit for your consumption. First off, it has mushroom powder in it, a tasteless yet potent source of vitamin D.
We have infused vitamin D into these delicious snacks. That's why if you read the ingredients list, it'll say mushroom powder. These don't taste like mushrooms. They taste like the best cookies you've ever had, okay? If you are like me, you're on the PC a lot, you're on your phone a lot, maybe you don't always touch grass as much as you should.
Oh, you hear that? It's made for gamers, guys. Only the most epically epic gamers eat these cookies, okay? Oh boy, a streamer marketing their product to gamers? Where have I heard this story before? But not only will it make you an epic gamer, it's healthy for you too. Or it would be, but I just lied about that. It's actually not. You see, Poki shows a graph comparing her cookies to the leading cookies, and it shows the nutritional information and serving sizes. And I'm about to, you know, serve you a serving size of facts and logic, okay, libtard? Realistically, people do not eat in serving sizes unless they're, you know, counting calories, of course. And even then, they don't really do that. They'll usually just like portion it out based on their macros. Like if you want cookies reasonably, you're going to eat an amount that satisfies your craving. Like if you're in the mood for cookies, you know, whether you eat like a chocolate chip cookie or a sugar cookie or whatever, there is a measurable amount that you would eat. So I feel like we should look at these items in grams. MYNA cookies are 7 cookies a serving at 140 calories. Well, for MYNA, it's 28 grams for that serving. 140 calories divided by 28 grams gives you 5 calories per gram. Compare that to Oreos or Chips Ahoy, and you're actually looking at less calories per gram, even though the serving size is higher in calories. So if you wanted to eat a certain amount of cookie without counting the calories, technically Oreos and Chips Ahoy would be healthier. The leading cookies in question here are the Little Bites soft baked cookies. I don't know why she chose these, probably because they're like direct competition, like they're bite-sized and so are hers, so yeah. But these end up at 5.12 calories, which is 0.12 more calories per gram, which really isn't a big difference. And I know the previous cookies weren't better by much either, but that's not the point. The point is, labeling these as healthy is extremely disingenuous when they seem to be right in line with industry standards. If you consume these by their calorie count, then they probably are a relatively healthy snack, but that's also applicable to like literally any snack you can buy. Just eat the serving size and it's probably relatively healthy for you. And the mushroom powder does not help the case at all. It's nice that they added it, like it's a nice gesture, but it gives you 15% of your daily vitamin D. And let me just tell you right now, if you are a sun-starved gamer, this is not gonna make a difference. You're better off chugging a glass of milk. Not to mention, to get enough vitamin D, you only need to go outside for like 10 or 15 minutes every few days. The only real healthy properties are the fact that it's gluten-free. And even then, things can be gluten-free and still be unhealthy. I don't know, maybe I did the math wrong. Like math was not my best subject in high school, okay? But I'm pretty sure this is accurate. So we already have a problem here, right? Like the marketing is extremely deceptive because she really hammers it home that this is like a healthy snack, but I don't really see how that's the case. If Pokimane had just advertised these as like normal snacks and they're gluten-free with premium ingredients, like there would be no issue at all. At least as far as the healthy narrative is concerned, that is. Because this isn't where everything started to fall apart. It actually started to blow up after it was discovered that before MYNA, there was Totsi, which not only looks exactly like MYNA's cookies, but they even have the same exact ingredients. The only difference, of course, being the mushroom powder that she added in, which I don't think is necessarily a problem. Like this would be an instance of what's called white labeling, where a company or brand sells a product that's manufactured by a third party. Fact check me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Oompaville did the same thing with his candy company. Like, what did you guys expect? Like, did you think that Pokimane like made these herself? Like, what even is the implication here? This was the first I had heard about this drama, so that's why I thought it was so stupid and not worth talking about at first. But then people started to talk about the price difference. Shout out to the Autistic Virgin on Destiny's subreddit who put this together. He was able to deduce that MYNA cookies were upcharged by 250% of the original price of the Totsi cookies, which I also don't really care about, to be honest. I mean, this is just capitalism for you. But to be fair though, Poki, I never want to hear a word from you about how capitalism is bad ever again, seriously. I mean, realistically, I knew that like that was all bullshit, like, so, you know, socialism or whatever. I mean, Poki is a millionaire and all of these dipshit faux lefty streamers, they pretend to be socialists anyways. This was not like a secret to me. So aside from that, it doesn't really matter much to me. If you want to buy them, buy them. If you don't, then don't. Also, many people say this is a scam. Well, like in the context of it being like advertised as a healthy snack, then yeah, maybe I'd agree. But that's not what people are arguing. You know, people are saying that since it's overpriced, it's a scam. I mean, if an item has a price and you feel comfortable paying for that item and you get the item you paid for, then no, it's not a scam. And if the price is too high for you, you won't get scammed because it's too high. Like if you buy this, you didn't get scammed. You just have fucking terrible judgment. Anyways, of course, in the wake of all this backlash, Poki would eventually respond. 2 whole days after announcing her cookie company, by the way, which I'm sure is a great sign for the future. In this post, she would not speak much about the health properties of her cookies because realistically, there are none. She mainly focuses on pricing and the origin of the delectable morsels. She essentially confirms that the recipe is white labeled. Once again, if you think that's a problem, you are just fucking stupid. But then she claims she made alterations to the recipe aside from just the mushroom powder. While the ingredients list may look similar, they are entirely different in terms of ingredient quality, quantity, ratios, sourcing, the size, texture of the cookie, and of course the added vitamin D. Refining formulas is a very common practice in the food industry. Around 70 to 80% of the foods you see in the grocery stores are white labeled. You see, when she said that the ingredients are different, I thought that she meant that things like wheat flour got replaced for gluten-free flour, the oils were replaced with healthier ones, stuff that wasn't organic originally is organic now. But no, they are the exact same. Also, I don't understand how you can change the portions of ingredients in the recipe in a significant way worth acknowledging without also drastically altering the product. You know how they say cooking is an art? Well, that is true, but baking is a science. And when you look at the list, you know, like they're all still in the same order. These lists up here will always go in the order of like the most prominent ingredient all the way down to the least prominent. And it's exactly the same. You know, you'd think like at the bottom, like they would switch up a little bit maybe, but they don't. Also, when you look at the nutrition information, like everything is the same. The only difference is there's like, you know, extra vitamin D from the mushroom powder. It is like literally the same. I don't know why she's pretending that she made the recipe transformative because she doesn't even need to do that. Like, why explain to me that white labeling is okay, but then also explain to me how like you changed it for some reason? Like you already think it's okay, just stick with that. I mean, like think about when you go to the grocery store, you know, you buy a box of Kellogg's Frosted Flakes and you know, the Great Value Frosted Flakes. It's the same fucking thing, you know, it's just a different box. Like people pay for branding all the time. So if you put your name on it and if people are willing to pay for that branding, then yeah, that's fine in my eyes. But she, for some reason, feels the need to lie. And I know she's lying, by the way, because she says things like the size of the cookies are different. No, they're fucking not. I did the math. There's 98 cookies in a Totsi bag, which measures out to 392 grams. And in mine is the lowest amount you can buy is a 4-pack, and that has 112 cookies at 448 grams. And when you do the math, both cookies weigh the same. Why the fuck are you lying? I mean, the evidence is on the label. Look at it. The serving size is 7 cookies at 28 grams. They are the same size. My only problems here is, you know, number one, Pokimane has complained about capitalism being bad and then engages in the exact problem she's talking about, which, you know, like I said, once again, I expect as much, so that's not even that big of a deal. Number two, like she's saying that it's healthy when it's, you know, it really isn't. And then number three, she's lying when she doesn't need to. Just say like white labeling is normal. My brand is valuable. And if that value isn't congruent to you, then don't buy it. It's so simple. She also makes this argument about how like Costco sells memberships, so it was cheaper, and the Tootsie cookies were a newly released item, so maybe the price was scaled down. I mean, I don't think Costco memberships get you such a steep price reduction, right? Like, you're telling me that if these weren't in Costco, this bag of cookies would be like $30? I don't believe that. And honestly, the testing like thing is just speculation. I feel like what they would have done is just marked it as like a discounted price, right? You know how they like in the grocery stores, they'll have like oh, this is $20, but it's like half off for $10. I feel like they would have just done something like that, you know, marked it up really high, but then like listed it as an entry-level discount or something. Doesn't that make more sense? But they didn't do that. Look at the picture. It's just pure speculation, and it doesn't really convince me. I feel like she should have just ignored this, honestly, you know, like, or just admit that you're a capitalist and that you like money. Problem solved. Oh yeah, but she actually also refuses to admit that she likes money. She says here, I haven't sold merch in years. I cap my donations, and frankly, if I wanted a cash grab, it would be silly to do that through a startup because they are extremely unlikely to profit in the first few years. Yes, Pokey, I'm sure that like an average startup, it's hard for them to be profitable, but you are not average in this situation. It's probably different for literal celebrities, don't you think? I think the likeliness of profitability is way higher when you have millions of followers. Also, you say you cap your donations. I mean, that's only half true. The highest amount someone can donate to your stream is $5, but they can keep donating. They just send more donations. So that's a really disingenuous framing. Like, any simp who wants to spam you with fucking money just has the opportunity to donate to you more. And as far as not selling merch, like, that just makes me think you're stupid. I'm sorry, like, why wouldn't you? That's so easy. So like, what are you telling me here? Are you telling me you started MYNA and have no intention of profiting? Is your goal to break even or lose money? Did you genuinely start this brand just because you're a good person and wanted people to have like healthy snacks? That's bullshit. I'm a lot of things, okay, Pokey? Stupid is one of them, but that's really stupid. Like, that's way more stupid than I am. But it just doesn't end there, because eventually Pokimane's own community and chat would begin to press her on the price of the cookies. And this is what happened.
When people are like, oh my god, $28 for cookies? It's 4 bags. That's $7 a bag. I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but like, if you're a broke boy, just say so.
That's the beauty of it. The beauty of what? The beauty of capitalism? So she decided to call her own fans broke idiots for not wanting to buy her cookies. The fact that this quote-unquote socialist is making fun of poor people goes to show that she's just not a socialist at all. She's a capitalist. Welcome to the team, Pokimane. This point also goes into my main thesis of the video. Like, I don't dislike Pokimane for any good reason, okay? I just think she's a fake bitch. I don't like how she pretends to be a nice person and happy-go-lucky and always positive, but then she just does shit like this. She seems very, very two-faced. And that's just speculation, by the way. I'm not trying to like psychoanalyze her, okay? It's just how she comes off to me. But you also have to keep in mind, some creators could absolutely get away with something like this. And that's mainly because it would be like part of their brand to talk shit, you know, like Aiden Ross or Destiny or someone. But Pokimane can't get away with it because it's completely contradictory to her image. It's just a very bad look, and obviously people would start to talk about it. She would eventually respond to criticism of this and say that, you know, her calling her fans broke idiots is just a joke. I don't believe that. It didn't feel like a joke at all to me, and especially like watching the full clip of that instance, it just didn't rub off as a joke at all. Also, real quick, I just want to draw attention to this clip of Asmongold defending Pokimane. I just found this hilarious and wanted to share it.
If Logan Paul did this exact same thing, would you defend it? Would I mean, yes and no.
It's insane how such a stupid question actually confused Asmongold here. Why are we comparing Pokimane and Logan Paul? The person who asked that question is an actual fucking moron. Logan Paul already has a business where he sells overpriced dog shit. He already scammed his fans out of millions of dollars with CryptoZoo. Oh yeah, also, he literally filmed a corpse. Oh, Asmongold, would you react the same way if Logan Paul did it? Of course fucking not. Logan Paul has set such low standards for himself that I don't think anyone would even notice if he sold overpriced cookies. The narrative being pushed is that Pokimane is scamming her audience. That is something that Logan Paul has already done. And yes, Asmongold has criticized him for that. I can't believe believe Asmongold like couldn't even figure out how to fucking respond to this. He had to like look in his chat and like see what they were saying to fucking like find answers. Also, Hassan made a reaction to like Critical's video on it, and it's like a 10-minute long video, and he turned it into like an hour. It's like, it's just fucking insane. That shit is completely unrelated. It just made my blood boil, and I needed to talk about it. Anyways, overall, I feel like my issue with his drama is that like a mountain is being made out of a molehill here on both sides. Realistically, I feel like the biggest problem here is that Pokimane has called these snacks healthy, and they're not. Like, that is deceptive marketing. I think that's a real problem, but I don't really see anybody talking about that. I don't know, maybe I did the math wrong, and that's why I'm the only person who noticed it. Maybe I'm just a fucking idiot. But yeah, aside from that, obviously, like, Poki calling capitalism psychotic, yet she's clearly engaging some of the most immoral aspects of capitalism. And of course, she's just coping so hard, and in my opinion, she's just straight up lying. I feel like she should just shut the fuck up. I feel like this would have already been done if she just didn't say anything. You know, Pokimane seems to deflect a lot of criticism by pulling the woman card, and she didn't like technically do that this time, but she's liking tweets of this narrative, so clearly, you know, she agrees that she is held to an unfair standard because she's a woman. And like, look, I'm not gonna sit here and deny that there are probably instances where you are criticized by people, and their main reason for it is because they are like misogynistic, and they're like hyper criticizing you because of that. But honestly, if somebody's criticizing you because they're misogynistic, I feel like you should be able to explain why they're wrong without bringing up the fact that they're misogynistic. Because obviously, if they're being misogynistic, they're being irrational. And if they're irrational, they're probably not being accurate. But also, something to keep in mind, every content creator is criticized for stupid shit. Like, I am criticized for the dumbest things all the time. Like, I agree, this is pretty stupid. If the values of the cookies are poor to you, don't purchase them. Upcharging, white labeling, brand recognition, these are all parts of capitalism and are totally fine. Like, this isn't reinventing the wheel. So many celebrities have done this, okay? Most of the critiques are fucking stupid, but that's kind of what happens when you're a content creator. Like I said, I get criticized for stupid shit all the time, and I only have like 30K subs. And especially when you are one of the biggest streamers, like, of course you're gonna fall into controversies that are stupid. And if those controversies are stupid, I feel like you should do a better job of explaining why they are, and especially not pull the woman card. Which, to be fair, technically she didn't do, but also she does clearly still agree with it because she liked the tweets. Anyways, well, that's all I really have to say. Let me know what you guys think in the comments for sure. Also, make sure to check out like my Patreon and my merch, all that shit. It's linked down below. Like I said before, you know, I'm gonna try and upload on the main channel again soon, but the uploading on this channel definitely helps and it gets me back into the flow of content creation. So yeah, that should be really soon. But yeah, that's about it. Take care, guys.